Good morning friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel Medical Classes by Dr. Srinidhi Kumar Acharya. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also please leave your valuable comments. You can also visit the playlist. In the playlist I have provided almost all the topics in a very systematic order and I hope this is quite convenient for the continuous study. My dear friends, we have been discussing about loss of appetite and its basic concepts. So today we will discuss some of the factors which is mentioned in Vedana Adhayaya of Kashyapa Samhita Sutrasthana, where in different Vedanas Kashyapa mentioned different form of loss of appetite, because as we know in the infantile period the child will going to exhibit very minimum symptoms, and even in the newborn period, and a single symptom when it is there, it has got multiple meanings. If simply baby is crying means there are thousands of causes why the baby is crying. If the baby has got dull look, then there are hundreds of causes why the child is having dull look. A pediatrician has to explore it. So therefore, to help the pediatrician, the Vedana Adhayaya of Kashyapa Samhita has been explained, where one of the main symptom is loss of appetite in many disorders. So that we're going to list out today. So there will be alteration in the appetite of the baby in certain clinical conditions as explained in Kashyapa Samhita Vedana Adhayaya. For example, a child is having Karnashula, the child is having Arochaka as a symptom. In case of Kanta Vedana, child is having Aruchi as a symptom. In Adhijivhaka, again Aruchi is as a symptom. In Galagraha also, Aruchi is a symptom. In Kanta Shodha, Aruchi is a symptom. Pandu and Kamala, Ubayatra Niruksahu, okay, that is Nashtagni, Rudirasprha. Ubayatra Niruksahu, Nashtagni, Rudirasprha. So this is a shloka mentioned, Nashta Agni, Agni Nashta. Okay, so that is again something related to loss of appetite or loss of hunger, etc. So that is explained in the context of Pandu and Kamala. Similarly, in Pandu again they mentioned Agnisada. In Ama, child is suffering from Ama, the child is again having Aruchi. In Visarpa, there is a symptom called as Aruchi again. And in Jwara, of course, there will be Aruchi, loss of appetite. So loss of appetite will going to manifest as inability to take the feed in children. That means a newborn baby or infant baby, so they show aversion towards the breast milk, or else they are not interested to take the breast milk, they are not sucking the breast milk. Okay, after sucking they will leave the breast, or sthanadvesha, they say sthanadvesha, so there is aversion towards breast milk. So these are the different forms of loss of appetite that manifest in the newborn and as well as infantile period. Now, diagnosis by observing the feeding habits. Now, for example, feeding habits of the infant and child is usually altered in most of the disorders. So, information given regarding this by the mother is very, very important. We know that mother is the main informer. Now, loss of appetite, that means appetite in a newborn baby or infant, so that may be either increased, reduced or altered. If you talk about again the Mukhrogas, in the Mukhrogas, so as if he has not mentioned that there is loss of appetite, but he has mentioned that vomiting and regurgitation is present. So Pitam Udgarati, so vomiting and regurgitation is present, child is not able to take the feed or not interested to take the feed, or if the feed which is taken is not get digested. The ultimate cause is same, either it is a Aruchi, Arochaka or Asivarasa, etc. Similarly, in the context of Jwara, he says that there is sudden withdrawal from the feeding. Akasmat sthanyan na abhinandati. Akasmat stanyam na abhinandati. That means sudden withdrawal from the feeding. Feeding habit of the child is affected. When the feeding habit of the child is affected, that is one of the very important clue for many disorders. Similarly, in case of Shula, they say that there is sthanadvesha. Sthanadvesha, that is refusal to feed. Similarly, in case of Trishna, the baby is more hungry in spite of repeated feeding. child suffering from Trishna, the mother is giving repeated feeding, but in spite of that, child is having more hungry. Similarly, in case of alasaka, again there is refusal to feed. The word mentioned is stanyam na pibati. So tendency to take the particular type of the food is also mentioned in Vedana. Okay, of course, that comes under the perversion of eating perversion disorders I mentioned. Tendency to take certain abnormal non-nutrient items. Perversion of the eating perversion disorders. Such kind of explanation is also explained in Vedana Adhayaya, as in case of Pandu and Kamala. Pandu and Kamala, here the word mentioned is Rudiras Praha. Rudiras Praha. Nashtagni Rudiras Praha. That means child is interested to take blood or eager to consume the blood. Now usually we will consider the blood as maybe we are considering the blood as some of the abnormal material in this context. Okay, so Rudiraspraha, the blood, so actually that has to be taken in otherwise. Probably either the child is suffering from some perversion eating disorders, as in case of Pandu and Kamala, and also as in case of Mrut Bhakshanajanya Pandu, or we have to take it otherwise as it is not Rudiraspraha means not interested to take the blood. It may be taken as interested to take the blood forming elements. Okay, so when the word Rudiraspraha is used, you have to take it like that. Child is interested to take more and more blood forming elements. Blood forming elements, hematonics. For example, blood forming elements just like maybe folic acid containing, iron containing, okay, vitamin C containing materials. Just like in Rakta Kshaya Lakshanas, there is Ambla Priti. That means when Rakta is Kshaya, so naturally the body's tendency it to take the more and more citric food, so that vitamin C will be provided, and then the process of forming the RBC etc. will be, hemoglobin etc. will be resumed. Okay, so either you can take on this way or you can take it in a other way also. If you take it as a eating perversion disorder, that is also right to some extent. Or is it a normal body physiological process, that is the tendency to take the different types of materials which is having less in the body. That means which is quantity has been decreased in the body. So that can be also taken.